All right, let's get started. We got a lot of news to get to. 150 days out from the election day. The presidential race kicking into high gear with the candidates set to go head-to-head in our nation's capital. Screen left, Clinton to speak to the Planned Parenthood Action Fund. Screen right, Trump to address Christian conservatives at the Faith and Freedom Conference. This, as a new Fox poll shows Clinton edging Trump by a slight margin, 42 to 39%, with the poll's within the poll's margin of error. The poll out the same day, Clinton picked up 3 big endorsements from President Obama, Vice President Joe Biden, and progressive hero, Senator Elizabeth Warren. Also announced the president to campaign with Hillary next week in Wisconsin. All right, Jesse, how important were these endorsements for Hillary Clinton?
I think it pops the poll numbers a little bit. I mean, you got the President of the United States and Warren. She's a hero, as you say. I don't know about that, and Biden. These are big heavyweights in the Democratic Party. So it's a slight bump, but I think those numbers are going to even out. You know, if you look at the big picture, these people are still lifelong politicians lining up behind another lifelong politician. And people want change in this election. That's why people are excited about Trump. And the polls say this guy's going to shake things up. 76% say Trump is going to shake things up. I think that's an understatement about what happens if he gets into the White House. So, you know, short-term blip, but I think long-term they're going to tighten.
Ebony, the RNC, a spokesman for the RNC, responded to the Elizabeth Warren endorsement and said, basically, this makes her a sellout because Hillary Clinton represents everything that Elizabeth Warren is apparently against, notably Wall Street.
Big bank. Yeah, absolutely. Now, I was one person that was very disappointed that Liz Warren didn't put her hat in the ring for this thing on the front end, kind of be more of an aggressive competitor as a stark contrast to Hillary Clinton. So I see the sellout label. I don't think it's completely misapplied. I also think it's going to help tremendously to have Barack Obama out there for Hillary Clinton. Very unlikable candidate herself right now. So to have Barack Obama, who's significantly more popular, he's got like an 81% popularity rating among Democrats. He's even 50% nationally, highest he's been this term. So that's going to help her because he is significantly better at engaging communities and he's much more popular.
And Megyn, we know the president on a late night show the other night basically
his
laughing
20 millionth
off
appearance.
Yeah.
God forbid we go a week without the president going on a late night show.
But he laughed off the Donald Trump as the nominee of the Republican Party, basically saying they're happy that it's Donald Trump running against Hillary Clinton.
Listen, not so fast. There's a new Hill poll that came out this morning that's saying that Gary Johnson is doing better with independents than Hillary Clinton is. They should not take this lightly. Maybe they think it's funny. These are fighting numbers, and every candidate, after they finally become the nominee, gets a bump, as both of them will after both conventions. This isn't unusual. The game is just starting, and they shouldn't be sitting too pretty up there in Jimmy Fallon telling jokes, because a lot of people in America, especially in the southern states and hardworking people that are seeing how the economy is and see Donald Trump as a formidable businessman.
And it was a big question whether or not President Obama was going to hit the campaign trail for Hillary Clinton, but now we are hearing he's going to be out there in Wisconsin for her.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he scratched the Bernie itch yesterday at the White House and how that's all going to play out, because, I mean, he's got to get out there and try to rival Bernie Sanders' crowds, I would imagine, going into the D.C. primary. You don't want to be embarrassed and have, like, the president's crowds be smaller than Bernie Sanders. And I don't jokingly say that. I mean, Sanders has not fully gone away. I think people, I would imagine, Ebony, I think people are thinking that he'll pull out eventually. We just want to know, is he going to take Debbie Wasserman Schultz with him, or, you know, what he really wants.
And how much they have to baby him and treat him like a toddler that's going to throw a tantrum in the meantime.
That toddler has millions of supporters.
He's got a lot of leverage right now.
He's got a movement.
It's right now.
His leverage is completely overblown. He has leverage with millennials in a certain demographic, but if he were really this powerful and this significant, the president wouldn't have endorsed Hillary the exact same day that he came and met with him, which I saw as shade and sort of a slight against Bernie Sanders, and he would be the nominee right now.
What does scratch the Bernie itch mean? I'm just trying to figure out.
Well, you know, I mean, he's just there. He's just there.
Okay, he is just there, and there's going to be a rush to court his supporters, Jesse, if indeed he pulls out of the race. Donald Trump the other day said, we are going to welcome those supporters.
They're going to be in every hookah lounge and every quad in the country. You know, these guys, who knows? I actually interviewed a few people up in Burlington, Vermont, and some of these people are so radical, if it's not Bernie, they're not voting.
Some of them are not voting, but some of them I do think appreciate at least being acknowledged by Donald Trump. I don't really know why Hillary Clinton has waited to this late hour to even acknowledge the fact that this man does have people that are encouraged by him, excited by him. It's like they're not even there for her, and that's why I think they're going to at least listen to something Trump says.
Well, one of the things that we've seen, Ebony, is that it just frustrates the narrative that this was more of a coronation. I mean, if you acknowledge, remember President Obama kept acknowledging Donald Trump, and I was saying all along, I said, oh, he's raising his profile. So I think in some ways she didn't want to raise Bernie Sanders' profile. But anybody who can raise $45 million in a fundraising cycle, I don't agree with you, Megyn. I think you got to take that seriously within your own party, because he's basically an insurgent right now if he doesn't move out. And that really helps the Republicans, because while the Democrats get their cake together, Republicans can bake their own.
All right, we're having way too much fun already. All right. All right,
well, the cake.
Yeah, I know.
Jesse's hungry.
He only hears the last word I say.